You know who cares about stonks? The New York Stock Exchange and their parent company ICE.
Mm-hmm.
And Uniswap. Great job. Oh, that's right. We're going to Uniswap. This is your modern day Chuck. This man's paying for a dominatrix. I can guarantee it.
He could be the trifecta. If he give him a couple more years, him, Gary, and Brad Sherman are going to make quite the trio.
Oh my God! Yeah,
the cul-de-sac.
Three men, one haircut.
Yeah, just give him like 3 years. 3 years, and he'll join.
3 years. Oh my gosh! And look at this. This is him around a woman. This is the only time you'll ever see this man around a woman in his life. And she's looking like, what? Who is this? Who is this woman? Do we know?
No.
She looks like somebody I recognize. Does she look recognizable, or is she just like every other pretty blonde girl?
Aren't there so many females that look like that?
She looks like
they're starting to all look the same.
Standard white girl.
Well,
from
look,
Vancouver.
you won't see me. You had all these people that were
they all mimic each other.
That were crapping on Margot Robbie. Is it Robbie or Robbie?
Robbie.
Margot Robbie saying she's mid.
That's the
right.
dumbest take
that's
ever.
false.
That's false.
Very
She's
false.
not mid. Let's be for real, guys. I'm just trying to be honest with y'all. Look,
Wow.
this is not.
Those fit together quite well.
Okay, thank you, guys. All right, guys. Back to Richard Hart.
Very classy look.
What is this show? What has this show become? With this show, do you know when this show went off the rails? When TJ left.
Yeah.
TJ would be in the background. You wouldn't. He'd be in the background. I'd be going. He would literally type on the screen on the notepad, "Move on."
My goodness.
I mean,
And here we got Tim. Hey guys, Tim and Nick ain't taking over the show. I've taken over my own show now. That's why it's gotten so dang good.
The babysitter's gone.
The babysitter's gone.
Yeah.
Okay, so here we go. Nick DeMonte said, "Move on, please." Shut up, Nick. Shut up, Nick. I'm not going to yell at you like I did that one time, but shut up. Okay. Hex delisted from Uniswap after SEC sued. Okay, now keep this in mind. Coinbase fights to put XRP back on. Now we've got Uniswap. You guys understand, Uniswap is more centralized than Coinbase. I'll say it again. Uniswap is more centralized than Coinbase. I want you to think about that. I want you to process that. That's why we're doing a big Uniswap alternative video, because on Twitter, which our Twitter segment every day is brought to you, of course, by Stake, where I showed the mid-roll for you guys. We love Stake, absolutely. We're trying to work it where I can play some Stake on the 8:30 show, maybe once a week or something.
Yeah.
So there we go. Maybe on Fridays. But here we go. Here's the tweet. Where's the tweet? Where's the tweet? God, I retweet so much stuff. Let's see here. What is this? Is this? Oh, that's likes. Let's go to tweets. Here's a tweet, guys. It's simple. It's very simple. Cancel Uniswap. Cancel Uniswap. I gave them warning after warning after warning. But here's the thing. When you give a bad actor a warning, they can only do so much because they are no longer in control of their own site. The money driving Uniswap is now controlling everything. Because guess what happens? Gary Gensler, in bed with Elizabeth Warren, obviously, as we know, very well proven, that maybe that's why whichever one of their daughters was working for the other one, because who knows, maybe it is the other one. Maybe it's their daughter, actually. The fact is that Uniswap, or excuse me, Hex gets an SEC lawsuit this week. Now, I tell you what, our decision yesterday to sell Hex temporarily is probably going to be backed up. I'll look at the chart in just a second. But the fact is that, guys, this is all about Gary Gensler getting wins. This was removed. We already showed you the connections. We already showed you how they're all in bed together. Uniswap removes Hex to batten down the hatches and say, good job, SEC. Are they doing this because of leverage against Uniswap from the SEC? Very, very, very likely. That's what I will say. So here we go. Into the story. Richard Hart's Hex token is now delisted on leading decentralized exchange, Hex. This is not a leading decentralized exchange. This is a leading faux decentralized exchange. We call it a FODify. Hex, after the US SEC alleged tokens and unregistered security. How in the world are you going to say this is an investment contract, not, by the work, but fit the Howey test, blah, blah, blah. You just lost against Ripple, you doomis. Uniswap added Hex to its list of unsupported tokens found here. Cryptos in this list include coins delisted based on legal consideration and tokens that have proven to be scams or violate trademarks. How about that? By the numbers. Now, that was my Richard Hart segment, brought to you by Top Hats.
Good throw.
Thanks. By the numbers, what percentage of Uniswap traders are bots? Let's see. If you have a lot of bots trading on Uniswap, what does that do? Do you know what that does when you have a lot of bots trading somewhere? What does that pump up?
What would the bots pump up?
Yeah, what do they pump up? What numbers the bump? The volume.
Oh, yeah.
Pump up the jam. Pump up the volume. Who makes money on the volume pumping? Liquidity pool providers.
Yep.
Who makes money on that? Uniswap. Start to figure it out, don't you? Start to see all the connections. The dominance of each trading type on the DEX. This is not a DEX. We are now calling Uniswap a CEX. Uniswap is a centralized exchange now. Because does this sound like decentralized? They remove projects they consider to be scams, trademark violations, and just anything else that there may be legal issues. Well, guess what, Uniswap? Guess what? Gary Gensler told Coinbase every single coin except for Bitcoin is a security. So you know what that means, Uniswap? Remove your own mother-loving coin from the site. You want to act like you are not about crypto, Uniswap. You're about yourselves and your beta boy cuck master Hayden Adams. And I would say he could suck it, but by the looks of him, he might be willing to do that. And I don't want that. No, I don't want that. You know what I want? I want a truly decentralized exchange. I want a decentralized exchange that does what crypto and blockchain are meant to do. And yes, that includes keeping scams listed. It's called self-sovereignty and responsibility and doing your own research. If people go onto these sites and they buy these scams, either number one, they're not doing any research. Number two, they're absolute degenerates. And number three, they're probably new to crypto. They need to go through losing some money in order to get hardened accounts to the reality of the fact that it is very difficult to keep your security high in crypto. But when you learn it, when you lose 2, 3, 4, 5 figures, keeps you from losing it when you have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 figures. It's part of the lesson, guys. You ever lost money in crypto? Because of a scam?
In a trade? No,
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 a scam or a hack?
No.
How about you, Nick? Or phishing or anything.
I got the wrong contract address one time.
Boom. There you go. There's one time. That counts.
Yeah.
I did that as well one
Okay.
time. I got phished one time a long time ago. Guys, Tim is the best crypto trader in the history of mankind.
Ever.
Tim's never made a mistake.
Ever.
But is he trying to pump himself up to take my channel? But the fact is that almost everyone that has been around this space, they've lost money in something. You got to learn the lesson. It keeps you from losing more money down the road. This is absolutely, that's the weirdest question I ever saw somebody ask in the chat. I don't know if y'all saw that. I can't repeat that. My mother's here. Uniswap is not a decentralized exchange. Uniswap is centralized. They listen to the central authorities. They are a bank. Uniswap is the new Celsius. Uniswap is the new Celsius. Celsius said, unbank yourself. They became a bank. Uniswap said, here, we offer decentralized trading, and now you have become worse than Coinbase. It's absolutely disgusting. Comment on which DEX you're going to use instead of Uniswap. Love to see it.
What's going to be interesting, Ben, proof that will prove the pudding. How long until they delist Bencoin just because of what you're saying right now?
Probably. Go ahead, do it. Do it. Can you imagine the outcry?
Yeah.
Can you imagine the outcry that will come? They already did it once.
Yeah.
What's going to stop them from doing it twice? You're disgusting. And the fact that people have to think about the words that they say about you and how that might affect them. You are the SEC of crypto. You are the government of crypto. You are the centralized figure and authority in crypto. And I have absolutely no respect for Hayden Adams. Which, have you seen him? Who would respect that guy? I have absolutely zero respect for Uniswap Labs. Which, by the way, and I tell you what, they got a letter from the SEC. Do you remember that?
No.
Uniswap got a letter from the SEC last year sometime. That is the turning point. How about just stop cowering to the people that we're trying to fight? It defeats the purpose. Makes me sick. Let me tell you who you'll never see cower to these SOBs. BitBoy Crypto. I won't ever cower to these people. I'm built differently. And this might shock people. I'm built differently than Hayden Adams. I have a muscle somewhere. Okay.
You also didn't you say you have 2 hair follicles coming out of every single
the children? Why did you say think of the children, Nick?
I don't know. I was trying to get your attention.
All right, moving on. Bitcoin rejected from 30K as markets digest MicroStrategy's Q2 bet. We saw it rejected pretty hard yesterday. Jumped 2%. Man, if I could have got that profit at 30,000, that would have been great. That went above that point of control Frankie talked about and then crushed down.
Yeah.
Let's see. We got Michael Saylor putting more Bitcoin in. MicroStrategy's stock went his 200% rise, nearly $478. Who cares about stonks? You know who cares about stonks? The New York Stock Exchange and their parent company eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And Uniswap. Great job. Oh, that's right. We're going to Uniswap.
Yeah.
We're going to go to Uniswap. I forgot about that. We're going to do that next week. I got to get my guy to go with me. I need somebody to come film, by the way. I need somebody to come film with me next week. Will that guy be ready, you think? Nick?
No.
Okay, well, somebody needs to go to New York with me next week.
Okay.
I'll look into it.
Yeah, just need one person. Just really to go knock on the door at Uniswap. That's what we want to do. Maybe we can send them they got an SEC letter. Maybe we can send them a BitBoy crypto letter. Get that guy out of here. That's stupid. It's the same people coming in here every single day. Bring Crypto Keeper. I'm bringing somebody bigger than Crypto Keeper is what I'll tell you. Okay. All right. Which I love Crypto Keeper. The down. Right there. Up. That.
Okay.
Yeah. Get that guy out of here. Idiot.
I got it.
Fitch downgrades U.S. credit rating. Bitcoin peaks to 30K in stable market. If you listen to this entire rant and that's what you got out of it, we don't want you here in crypto, period. I don't even want you on this channel. You need to just see yourself out. It might be Gary Gensler himself. Oh, Gary Gensler in the chat says, rip whoever you were. We have a downgrade of the credit rating from a AAA to a AA+. Didn't we have this recently happen? Did this happen before? We had our credit downgraded?
It's happened, but...
Similar ground downgraded 2011. That's what it says, yeah.
Back in 2011? Okay. I hadn't heard of it anytime recently, but...
Yeah. It triggered market turbulence, causing treasury yields to crash.
Mm-hmm.
So there we go. So we had our credit rating was downgraded. Big shocker. I don't know if we will get back.
So you're saying Bidenomics isn't working?
Bidenomics is not only not working, but I mean, I don't even know what to say. Like, what's the worst possible thing you can say about it? Let me say it like this. Bidenomics is the Hayden Adams of economics.
No,
There you go.
that's harsh.
Oh, hold on. Okay. Hear me out here, though. Hear me out, though. Here, I want you guys to really think about this. Hayden Adams versus Joe Biden in a cage match. Who wins?
Biden, because he's probably heavier. He'll fall on Hayden, and then it'll be a whole beached whale situation on top of him. He can't move.
Well, I don't know. Biden might back up because he may have to wonder, like,
More often,
this guy's kind of young. Is this one of my grandkids I don't know about?
but the other thing, more often than not, Joe Biden falls forward. He falls on his face more often than not. So
He's got all kinds of grandkids he doesn't know about and doesn't acknowledge until his ratings go down. And then he says, "Oh, I love her. I did my granddaughter.
Oh my
I put up a
goodness.
stocking for my dog, but my granddaughter, I didn't do it. But my ratings are bad, so we love her." I'm talking about one of the worst people in the history of the United States. Definitely the worst president, but just a bad person. I'll tell you what. Ethereum ETF race gains steam. 6 asset managers filed with the SEC. Who are these 6? Bitwise, Roundhill. Do you have another kind of hill other than a round hill?
Pointy Hill? That's a mountain.
Pointy Hill's a mountain.
Yeah.
There we go. Van Eck, ProShares, and Grayscale submitted their Ethereum futures filings. Oh, they're Ethereum futures filings. I missed. This is Ethereum ETFs. Very interesting.
I mean, it's
Now imagine this, though. They're not spotted all their futures, right?
Right.
But imagine Bitcoin gets ETF approved in the next 3 or 4 months as we head into the halving. Bitcoin price starts going way up. And then the thick of the bull run, we get some of these Ethereum, even though they're futures, Ethereum ETFs approved. Because remember, the all-time high in November came after what? The Bitcoin futures ETFs were approved. Something to think about.
That's interesting.
Bag house cages. What's a bag house cage? Looks like a fancy joint. I don't know what that is. I can't make heads or tails of that. Yeah, what is that?
That's called Johnny not turning on the ad blocker.
Johnny, you're too busy flexing.